Hundreds of Nepali citizens of different age groups, experience and skills have been leaving the country on a daily basis in hopes of better opportunities abroad. Several youths looking to go to South Korea for employment staged a protest in Lalitpur today that resulted in the death of 2 youths. Today's violent protest showed the frustration among the public towards the state mechanism and the government's failure to ensure a conducive environment. Good evening, I'm Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. At least 2 people dead following gunshots amid protest in front of EPS office in Lalitpur's Guarco. Vehicle of Minister for Physical Infrastructure torched. Hearing on the writ filed against Governor Mahaprasad Adhikari's academic qualifications concludes. Adhikari alleged of not meeting the requirement. 12 people killed and dozens wounded in a wave of Russian attacks across Ukraine. Ukraine's president says Russia used nearly every type of weapon in its arsenal. And Bursa 11 ends departmental team Army's journey at the Pro Club Championship. Enters into the final with a 31-run win over the undefeated Army. At least 2 youths have died due to gunshots during the protests in front of EPS office in Lalitpur's Guarco today. The deceased have been identified as 22-year-old Birendra Shah, who was from Doti of Sudur Paschim province, and 23-year-old Sujan Raut. Shah succumbed to the gunshot wounds while he was being treated at Patan Hospital and Raut at Kist Hospital. Shah had been shot on his navel and right knee. A group of youths had staged protests in front of the EPS office in Guarco, saying that they had been prohibited from participating in Korean language test.
कसैलाई काखा कसैलाई पाखा गर्न पाइदैन नेपालको हामी पनि आम नागरिक भइसकेपछि हाम्रो हक अधिकार चाहिँ नि त्यो संविधानमा त हाम्रो पनि स्वत अधिकार चाहिँ नि सुनिश्चित हुनुपर्छ भन्ने हाम्रो माग हो र यो 32000 बाँकी रहेका जुन फेल भएको छ त्यो सम्पूर्णले पाउनुपर्छ र फर्म भर्न पाउनुपर्छ र एक्जाम दिन पाउनुपर्छ
हाम्रो माग चाहिँ सबैजना एक्जाम समावेश हुन पाउनु पर्यो खुला प्रतिस्पर्धा गर्न पाउनु पर्यो त्यही हो.
The protesters had torched vehicle used by Minister for Physical Infrastructure and Transport Management Prakash Jwala and vandalized 3 vehicles operating along the ring road. 18 people have been arrested for their alleged involvement in the incident. The protesters have demanded to allow those who failed to clear language tests for shipbuilding to participate in tests for other productive sectors. The Department of Foreign Employment on 5th of December had announced those who failed the test for shipbuilding would not be allowed to apply for tests in other sectors. 18 applicants had filed a writ at the High Court, Patan, against the department's decision. The High Court had issued an interim order that allowed the 18 applicants to apply for other tests while others were still prohibited. Another writ was filed at the High Court yesterday by Yogesh Khanal, Rupesh Limbu, Roshan Danuwar, Sujan Rai, among others. They have alleged the EPS office of discriminating against applicants. The government of South Korea has announced it will take around 16,000 Nepali workers in the year 2024. More than 143,000 had applied for language tests for employment in South Korea. The government of Korea began taking in foreign workers through government-to-government level from year 2008. So far, according to the Ministry of Labour and Employment, 111,000 youths have gone to South Korea for employment and 50,000 are currently still working there. Vice Chairperson of the Surya Darshan Saving and Loan Cooperative, Pokhara, Kailash Kumar Darlami has been arrested for financial mishandling. Darlami, who was on the run, was arrested from Kathmandu and taken back to Pokhara. Darlami is in custody of the Kaski police for further investigation. The police are also preparing to present him at the court today itself. Arrest warrants had been issued against 19 individuals for financial mishandling, including Darlami. The police had already arrested Treasurer Kumar Ramtil before Darlami and he is still in custody. Former Chair Gitendra Bahadur Rai, incumbent Chair and former operators and account staff are still absconding. The cooperatives had around 18,700 depositors and the operators have been accused of financial irregularities of over 1,355 million rupees. District Administration Office Mahottari has returned 29 bighas of land and 110 million rupees of the victims of loan sharks. Based on the complaints filed by the victims of loan sharks, 29 bighas of land and 110 million rupees has been returned. According to Assistant Chief District Officer Upendra Neupane, 555 complaints filed at Mahottari administration have been resolved. Earlier, the government had begun preparations to consider loan sharking a crime after nationwide protests. On August 13 last year, the Ministry of Home Affairs had issued a circular urging the victims of loan sharks to register their complaints at the district administration. A total of 3,141 complaints were filed in Mahottari by December 27. Of them, discussions were held in 1,097 cases. Kosi Province Chief Minister Karki has alleged the federal government and parliament of lacking seriousness for the implementation of federalism. Speaking with journalists during the meeting of chief ministers of all 7 provinces in Hetauda, Chief Minister Karki said that homework was underway regarding collaboration between province governments and the local levels to ensure ease in service delivery for the public. Chief Minister Karki has alleged the federal government of hesitating in providing authority to the province and local levels. Chief Minister Karki has said that the unity between the political parties seen during the development of the constitution should be emulated during share of authority as well. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse, brought to you by Prabhu Bank, risen for your success. Uniglobe SS and College, Kamladi, Kathmandu.
The question is, what should be done to ensure justice for victims of faulty cooperatives? Your options are A. Return their deposit amount, B. Action against operators, and C. Improve existing laws. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Welcome back. Locals in Eastern Tarai region have been living in fear as the elephant that entered into Nepal from India's West Bengal through Jhapa Bahundangi has yet to be returned. At least 5 people have died in various places in Jhapa, Morang and Sunsari in the past 1 month due to elephant's attack. Local levels and provincial governments, meanwhile, have yet to take any action to address the issue. Last night, a man identified as Meghraj Rai from Dudhe of Jhapa Satakshi municipality lost his life to elephant attack. Elephant herd has been seen along the Morang, Bilbari and Sundar Haraija area since the past 1 month. They have been spending daytime in the jungles and entering into settlements during nighttime in search for food. The herd has also reportedly destroyed corn and banana fields in Bilbari, according to the District Forest Office Morang. Likewise, according to locals in Bilbari, the elephant herds have also damaged around 20 houses in the past 1 month. Chur Jorpati Rural Municipality of Dhankuta has begun construction works of a multicultural park. The park is being constructed with the objective of promoting agriculture and cultural tourism in Chur Jorpati. With collaboration between Kosi Province and Chur Jorpati Rural Municipality, Chur Great Wall has been installed at the Dwaje Dada of Jorpati market area, while statues of cultural elements of Limbu and Magar communities have been placed as well. Works of Shiva temple and a pond have also begun. Let's move on to international update. Russian missiles hit Zaporizhzhia early, killing 1 and wounding at least 10, according to Ukrainian officials. The attack destroyed a house and damaged several apartment blocks, according to Yuri Malashko, governor of Zaporizhzhia region. Russia unleashed its latest drone and missile attack on Ukraine in months on Friday, killing 10 people and wounding at least 60 others in Kiev, the south, west and east of the country, officials said. Dozens of people were wounded, with damage reported at a maternity hospital in the central city of Dnipro and buildings in the western city of Lviv, the southeastern port of Odessa and the eastern city of Kharkiv. Ukraine has been warning for weeks that Russia could be stockpiling missiles to launch a major air campaign targeting the energy system. Last year, millions of people were plunged into darkness when Russian strikes pounded the power grid. The Energy Ministry reported power outages in 4 regions after the air attack. In Lviv region, which borders Poland, impacts were confirmed at a critical infrastructure facility, the President's office said, declining to say which one. The Air Force said Russia used hypersonic, cruise and ballistic missiles, including ones which are extremely hard to intercept. Now, Russia has a list of Western assets that would be seized if the G7 leaders decide to confiscate $300 billion in frozen Russian central bank assets, the Kremlin said today. G7 leaders will discuss a new legal theory that would enable the seizure of the frozen Russian assets when they meet in February, two sources familiar with the plans and a British official said yesterday. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that any such move by the West would violate international law and would undermine both the global financial system and the world economy. Peskov told reporters that Russia had analyzed potential retaliatory steps. When asked if there was a list of assets that Russia could seize, Peskov said there is. He declined to detail what assets were on the list. Around $300 billion of Russian central bank assets are currently frozen in the West. Although the central bank has not detailed exactly which assets have been frozen, most of the bonds and deposits are denominated in euros as well as some in US dollars and British pounds. A number of United Nations agencies yesterday expressed their deep concerns about the deteriorating humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, warned in a social media post that due to the shortage of aid supplies caused by the blockade, the Gaza Strip is grappling with catastrophic hunger and 40% of the people are facing the risk of famine. UNRWA reiterates its call for a humanitarian ceasefire as soon as possible to facilitate the access of more aid supplies to the Gaza Strip. On the same day, the UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights released a report stating that since the outbreak of the current round of Palestinian-Israeli conflict, the human rights situation of Palestinians living in the West Bank had worsened day by day. The report stated that between October 7 and December 27 alone, the Israeli army and law enforcement agencies killed at least 291 Palestinians in the West Bank, the highest number since records began in 2005. The office calls on Israel to immediately stop its unprovoked killings and detentions of Palestinians during law enforcement. UNICEF Regional Director for the Middle East and North Africa, Adel Khadr, also issued a statement on Thursday, saying that this year has witnessed the highest number of child deaths in the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. In the first 12 weeks since the outbreak of the conflict alone, 83 children had died in the West Bank due to conflict-related violence, more than double the number of children killed in the region in all of 2022. UNICEF is extremely concerned about the safety and survival rights of local children, according to the statement. Aerial footage showed displayed Gazans under tarpaulins in Rafah near the border with Egypt. Israel is closing the year with new assaults in central and southern Gaza, unleashing a fresh exodus of people already driven from other areas in what Defense Minister Yoav Gallant called an essential stage of its mission to destroy Hamas. 12 weeks after Hamas militants stormed Israeli towns, killing 1,200 people and seizing 240 hostages, Israeli forces have laid much of the Gaza Strip to waste. Nearly all of its 2.3 million people have been driven from their homes at least once, and many are now fleeing for the third or fourth time. More than 21,000 Palestinians killed in the Israel-Hamas confrontation efforts by mediators Egypt and Qatar to negotiate a ceasefire have so far been fruitless since a week-long truce collapsed at the end of November. Egypt, which hosted the leaders of Hamas and smaller militant group Islamic Jihad in the past week, said on Thursday it was awaiting responses from both the sides to a proposed peace plan. Grieving family, friends and industry colleagues said their last goodbyes to South Korean actor Lee Sun-kyun at his funeral today. The 48-year-old actor, who played the wealthy patriarch in the Oscar-winning film Parasite, was found dead in a car at a park in Seoul on Wednesday this week after he was reported missing. Lee's portrait was carried by his oldest son as the actor's wife and actress Jeon Hae-jin followed behind in tears. His body will be cremated and his remains will be placed at a memorial park in Gwangju, southeast of Seoul, Yonhap news agency said. Lee was under police investigation over allegations of illegal drug use and had gone through 3 high public police questionings since October. His death brought an outpouring of sympathy from the film industry and the public alike, as well as questions over the apparently harsh and public nature of the probe that fueled media coverage delving into Lee's private life. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.